So you guys probably saw the video that I did talking about how big streamers just don't understand Battlefield. Well, now we've got another one from the Kingard. He has a video titled COD Streamers versus Battlefield Identity with Swagg's picture front and center in the thumbnail. We know that the Battlefield community really doesn't like Swagg. And I'm sure this video is going to fill us in to why.
I've been saying it and coming to my streams that Warzone players or Call of Duty players are ruining Battlefield 6. I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty
this edit's going to be good.
My entire life. Call of Duty people are not going to come to Battlefield and ruin it. Why are we getting targeted? Why am I getting targeted for this?
I'll show you.
Because I can't get any kill streaks or anything like that, I like to go for clips. So basically, I'm not getting any clips by sitting on a flag and capping it. I'm just being honest. I'm not getting any clips by repairing my tank. I don't care.
What are you, 8?
Somebody said, how about you play Battlefield the right way?
This is a really good edit.
If the only rebuttal you have is play the objective, bro, I mean, I guess.
What?
And I kind of love it. All the Rebirth kids and all the Movement kids have already migrated over to the Battlefield community and already doing crazy clips, movement exploits, and just making insane rage-bait clips on Twitter.
Stop it, please, I beg you!
You're so awful. You guys are awful. Holy, Battlefield players are like this. OG Battlefield players not gonna like this one. This is what happens when a COD player plays. They don't like seeing the movement clips because they're afraid that other players are gonna adapt to that sort of movement. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys gotta adapt. It's just gonna happen, man. The game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience. Call of Duty people are not.
A game, let me fill you in on some crazy advice. A game will always be successful if everyone plays it. Now you know.
Not gonna come to Battlefield and ruin it.
Enough from the clown.
If there's two things I'm sure of in this world, it's that one, Nickelback never deserved hate, and two, you can take a streamer out of
Well, it depends whether you looked at the photograph or not.
Call of Duty, but you can't wipe all the duty off the streamer. We have on our hands one of the strangest attempts to invade a franchise I've ever seen, all under the banner of stop.
Yeah, there's a reason for this though. This is what I want to talk about in this video. The Swagg thing, we can joke about it and stuff. The Swagg is like literally your stereotypical Call of Duty player, to the point where we go to Call of Duty events and he would be the one guy playing in like a room full of like 12 people playing and be screaming at the screen, yelling like I got like not recording, that's just how he plays the game. But the point I want to get at in this is why Call of Duty players, they feel as though they're invading Battlefield. He'll probably key into it, but like that's what I want to look at.
Us. Couple that with EA's innate ability to turn a one-step forward win into 2 steps back, and we've got ourselves one big question mark on what direction the Battlefield series will go with the release of Battlefield 6. Who will it ultimately try to please the most, the existing Battlefield community or the Stockholm Syndrome squad set on terraforming Battlefield to look more and more like the game they keep complaining about?
I mean, people are just leaving Call of Duty in general. I mean, I think the player base is down, what, 60%, 50%?
More than that.
And you can just tell, bro, like when it's just not made with love. Call of Duty right now is just, I don't know what they're doing.
Yes, the game that...
So he's 100% right, and this is why people are looking for a new game to go to. And the most similar thing to Call of Duty, Battlefield, people are going to that. So of course you're going to have Call of Duty players migrating over to something that feels like it has more heart put into it. Now, the problem is when those same Call of Duty people come into the game and want it to be Call of Duty. You're not playing Call of Duty, you're playing Battlefield.
did this to me. Be like that game.
I'm Steve-O, and this is the fart mask.
Let's get into it.
Great memes.
Now, I'm not turning this into a Call of Duty versus Battlefield which is better video. Play one, play both, I don't care. That should be a blisteringly cold take, but apparently some COD streamers don't see it that way. Luckily for them though, the Black Ops 7 trailer dropped to thunderous applause. from COD streamers that directly gain from getting people hype about it.
Dude, all right, for much more on Call of Duty Black Ops 7, make sure to watch the full-length Black Ops.
I honestly kind of feel bad for Tim here, just watching his own chat destroy what was likely supposed to be the next year's worth of content for him.
We're not even giving it a chance this time. Y'all are just like,
I didn't see this clip. I wish I saw this clip.
no chance.
Let's be real, it probably still will be his next year's worth of content, and he'll still do just fine. I may have trashed his takes on battle royales, and he may somehow not recognize Dead Ops.
Diablo, Call of Duty, what the f was that?
Oh, he didn't recognize Dead Ops. Okay.
But so long as he doesn't keep trying to codify other games, I still wish him the best.
And I don't
Anywho,
think
when
he
the Black
does.
Ops 7 trailer dropped, the tug of war was ignited further. Who should Battlefield 6 work harder to retain for the best chance of success? Battlefield fans, or the people that might play for a few weeks tops before slithering back home to the guy they keep swearing they're ready to break up with but never do?
Battlefield 6, I'm gonna be honest, chat, the multiplayer side is not what's gonna put pressure on the market.
Don't make me tap the sign.
It's just fun because it's fresh, but overall that's not gonna keep my interest. That battle royale is that's what I'm excited for, man.
Why do you care what some COD streamer says,
Ooh,
Kinger? Just
I've never seen that before. Gamers don't need battle royales. Streamers do. Somewhat true. Somewhat true.
don't watch him. He's probably just rage baiting for views. Well, I thought the same thing. The guy's takes are so contradictory and so juvenile, he must be grifting, right? But the more I watched him, the more I was reminded of two things. One, COD streamers can't help themselves but wish every other game were like COD, then complain to their armies of viewers when they aren't. And two, big streamer plus big audience equals big exposure. It's not a secret Battlefield 6 wants that COD crowd, and if you want to infect as many COD players as possible with Battlefield fever, content creators, but especially streamers, are going to be your patient zero. But when some of these guys give feedback that can be chalked up to, if this Battlefield game weren't Battlefield, I'd be more into it,
That's exactly what I was just saying.
when the community starts to get nervous about how EA will respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be my honest review of Battlefield 6.
I think we watched that one.
Very nice. Look at that.
Will they recognize the disconnect between COD streamers and Battlefield players, or is that sweet 100 million player goal so aggressively pinned all over their office like the Control sticky notes, they feel like they have
I think they'll get 50. I think they'll get 50 million players. 100, I don't know.
to listen if they want to poach the COD crowd? So while I had a very fun time playing the beta for the most part, there's still plenty that concerns me about what this game will be like at launch, and which target audience is going to win the war for Battlefield's soul in the months to follow. As for which direction Battlefield 6 should go, if you ask Call of Duty streamer Faze Swagg, well, just listen for yourself.
I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
This is very important, do not forget this.
So there's a certain... Let me rip on someone other than Swag. Let me rip on my friend. This is someone I talk to pretty much every day, T-Dog. T-Dog is legitimately a person who barely has played other games other than Call of Duty. And that's why he, like, his second channel that he's created is literally him playing games in series for the first time. T-Dog doesn't go into other games and say this game needs to be like Call of Duty, because that's insanity. If you wanted a different game to be like Call of Duty, just play Call of Duty. But again, the problem comes when Call of Duty sucks, you're looking for something else, right?
This very important context will help us decipher the bile that we are about to wade through.
I don't really understand the gatekeeping on Battlefield 6 and just Battlefield as a community in general. You should want to welcome anybody who's new. I'm not sitting here telling Battlefield to change what Battlefield is. That's not what I'm saying.
But
All right, yeah, if you just want to come play Battlefield and don't want to try to use
Is he
your
gonna show the
platform
kill
to
streak
change
thing
it,
next?
then sure, let's hear what you got to say. He's gonna say, let's change Battlefield, isn't he?
They think this guy's hacking? He's on mouse and key. I just think Battlefield players don't have the internet or don't have Twitter, so they have no idea what's been going on in the gaming world. They have no idea how good players are nowadays. They a bunch of grandpas.
The COD and Battlefield series are almost exactly the same age, and you and I are almost exactly the same age, so quit with this forced old versus young dichotomy. The how do you do, fellow kids rhetoric might work on a streaming audience. Maybe it's an act, maybe that's how he actually talks, I don't know. But for the rest of the world, it comes off like the guy who graduated 3 years years ago but still tries to stand in the student section. Swagg says if you think this person's gameplay looks suspicious, or if you don't want quick, snappy gunplay in Battlefield, it's because you're a decrepit old hermit that terrorizes door-to-door salesmen. Shoot, I got called old and an unk for my takes in my last video, and I'm younger than all of the COD streamers in that one of them by more than a decade. I'm not hating on or making fun of these guys' ages, the point is age has nothing to do with it. If Swagg's take that people only want slower Battlefield gameplay because they're old had any merit to it.
So I think it was his last video where like my final thing, what it came down to was when you're watching someone stream, if you need to watch them for a specific game, they're probably good at the game. The person, it probably isn't that entertaining, right? Their gameplay is entertaining, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Personally, most games I suck at. You know how like some people get made fun of for not being able to jump? I can't jump in video games. You put me on a platformer, I look like I have no thumbs. I have to somehow try to make up for that, and a lot of time it's very difficult. But if I just played Call of Duty, I think I would figure out how to jump and do it off of a cliff, because like you get bored of it, man. But like if you're just gonna play Call of Duty, of course your audience is just gonna be for Call of Duty, right?
But I'd be the one simping for battle royales, tight maps, and faster pacing, not them.
And I kind of love it. All the Rebirth kids and all the Movement kids have already migrated over to the Battlefield community and already.
Okay, so plays Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And he's awful then at it. Good example.
Doing crazy clips, movement exploits, and just making insane rage baiting clips on Twitter. They don't like seeing the movement clips because they're afraid that other players are gonna adapt to that sort of movement. Well, I'm gonna be honest, you guys gotta adapt. It's just gonna happen, man.
No, we don't. In fact, if zippy movement is required for an FPS to be fun, I question how good of an FPS it really is when it comes to its other mechanics. Like, I'm not here to say that all movement shooters are bad and they need to slow down. They have their place and they have their fans, but Battlefield is not its place, and the Battlefield community historically is not its fans. Positioning, teamwork, and use of the sandbox are the keys to winning a Battlefield game, not 6 slides and movement exploits. This kind of promotion of higher skill gap solo play is the exact opposite of what Battlefield stands for. Go look at who's saying, good, Battlefield doesn't need this, and who is saying, if you don't like more movement, you're old, get good. One side shows care for retaining Battlefield's identity, the other wants to keep decreasing the margin of variance between competing franchises. If you want all your games to play the same, why does Battlefield have to be the game that folds and changes itself in the standoff? And if
also, I don't know if he's going to say this or not, but like, remember what I said at the beginning about how Call of Duty, his players are dropping off, they're getting sick of it, and they're looking for another game. Why would you want that other game to be more like the game that's failing? Like that's the part that doesn't make any sense to me.
If Call of Duty is so perfect to you, why do you care what Battlefield does at all?
Obviously, you're gonna get an influx of people who are just rushing and just very kill heavy. We enjoy that style of play of just playing really fast. I like it. I like when they make those type of clips. It brings the viral clips to Battlefield, makes people want to try it more, makes people want to play it more.
You've probably noticed this COD streamer harps on clips a lot. Imagine overdosing on COD so hard you think it takes movement exploit clips to get people interested in a game. In fact, he even outright states he doesn't want to play objective because he's busy chasing these kinds of clips.
Because I can't get any kill streaks or anything like that, I like to go for clips. So basically, I'm not getting any clips by sitting on a flag and capping it. I'm just being honest. I'm not getting any clips by repairing my tank. I don't care. There's not a right way to play the game.
Say that again.
There's not a right way to play the game.
Okay, cowboy.
Great editing with memes. Great editing.
Frontline killers who punch through enemies' defenses.
This class is all about being a menace to the vehicles hunting your allies. They're also the only class capable of repairing.
So originally, I would have probably actually agreed with Swagg there, with there's not a right way to play the game, right? And then I played a game like Counter-Strike, or Rainbow Six Siege, or even Battlefield. And clearly, the game is designed in a way for you to play with a team, or slowly, or tactically, or know how grenades bounce off walls. That one was Counter-Strike. There definitely is a way to play games, especially multiplayer games.
Support class is there to
And let me prove it to you. Swagg, if you're watching this, if you go and play Warzone with someone who does 1 million recon contracts, gets 1 kill a game, and sits in the final zone and camps and waits for you, I bet you'd tell them they were playing that game wrong. However, by your logic, they're doing it right. They can play the game how they want to play and get the game. But I guarantee you, I can go and find clips about you complaining about people camping in Call of Duty. So clearly, there is a way that a game is meant to be played, even said by you.
Pull your ass out of the fire, throwing down supply crates.
Recon is our tactical mastermind who provides vital information to the squad.
There's not a right way to play the game.
Is the plan really to bring in 100 million of these? To be fair, Swagg makes the point that for some people, just getting kills is how they can contribute to a team win, even in objective-based modes, and he's right about that. It ain't much, but it's honest work. But here's the thing, Swagg's not looking for kill numbers to help the team. He's looking for kill style to help his content. He makes this priority very clear.
Saying as a Call of Duty player, the reason why I even fell in love with video games to begin with at the baseline was simply...
So yeah, you pay for something, you can play however you want to. Yes, I agree with that, but there's still a way that you should play the game. Let's go with an extreme example. You play Battlefield, but you like flying planes. So you get in a plane and you fly it around, taking it away from your team, but you don't shoot because you just want to fly a plane. You probably should be playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, not Battlefield.
Because I like getting nukes, or I like going for something in game that I can strive for and really shoot for. Now, as far as what Battlefield is, it's not that. I think Battlefield should have kill streaks. Thoughts, everybody? I like to go for clips.
Have you ever...
Yes, okay, that's a good way of putting it. A game is designed to be played in a certain way. However, if you do or don't get butthurt, just don't get butthurt. You know, I like that.
Once considered that Battlefield just isn't the game for you?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, am I the crazy one here? Thank God DICE isn't listening to that. He's convinced a lack of COD kill streaks means he doesn't have anything other than movement clips to strive for, but dude, if you've ever even hopped off COD long enough to look at your own dashboard, you would know Battlefield games do get clips. Have you ever heard of an only in Battlefield moment?
One of the best clips
the
ever.
Zook, where someone ejects from a jet, shoots another one, then gets back in his own? 18 million views, dog. Quad runs with the boys and dodging a rogue jet at the last second?
Yeah.
Holy sh**.
What was that?
Jumping on an aircraft, planting C4, jumping back off, and parachuting to safety? How about diving out of an airship, parachuting, then getting a 1, 2, triple melee kill? The things that require not only quick reactions or skill, but also creativity with the sandbox to achieve? Aren't oddly specific challenges the bread and butter for variety and longevity with Warzone content?
That's a good point.
I bet you would have even more opportunities for crazy content in Battlefield if you were able to look past the lack of COD movement and kill streaks. But no, if it ain't spamming slide cancels and armor plates, it ain't content, brother. This is why EA doesn't need to listen to streamers that don't know Battlefield, man.
A game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience. I'm sure even the Battlefield devs would agree with me over some of y'all.
That's the comment that gets me every time.
They don't. Movement from the beta is getting nerfed before release, making jumping and sliding more situational, so they are no longer ideal options for engaging in gunfights. So EA is listening to their fans with movement, huge dub. No wonder COD streamers have been crying on Twitter the last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's real nice.
Y'all gotta stop saying.
See, that doesn't bug me. Someone jumping around a corner doesn't bug me. In the same way that if someone laid down and crawled around the corner, wouldn't bug me.
Let's slow the game down. It's nice right where it's at. Battlefield shouldn't just cater to the 40-year-olds. I'm gonna be honest, bro. They shouldn't just cater to the casual dads. I'm gonna be honest.
Now, I'm not 40, I'm not even 30, but I'm old enough to understand the concept of not everything is made for me. If I don't like the way...
Oh my God, I just saw the dog behind him. Oh, that's a good boy right there.
Something is, instead of demanding that thing change to appease me, I just go to something else. It's not hard.
You want the impossible.
It's just like I did with modern COD. I fought to keep the series from straying too far, I lost, and now I rest. Move on. And you know the best part? That hypothetical target audience that I described at the end of that video, it fits this guy like a glove. We want to sweat. We want to make content. If it's not fast, it can't keep our attention.
You're sweating.
You're sweating.
Most of us can acknowledge that if something caters to a different audience, it may just not be for us. Why can't you?
A game will always be successful if you cater to every single audience.
That
What
line.
game is that, Swag? Truly, what game exists right now that caters to every single audience besides Age of War?
That's a Call of Duty player speaking, and here's why. Here is why. There's a reason why Call of Duty has multiplayer, zombies, Warzone. They're working on DMZ. They want their game to be for every audience. There's a reason why there's modes like Search and Destroy that are more tactical. Call of Duty tries to be for everyone, and of any game, they probably do the best job of it. But it hits a point where it doesn't work. And that's where his mentality is coming from there.
War, of course. What identity would a game for everyone even have?
Nothing.
Can't be too mature, can't be too childish, can't be too hard, can't be too easy.
And that's the exact problem with Call of Duty right now, is that they don't have any identity. Exactly.
If you narrowed this statement down to multiplayer FPS only, like he probably means, you've still got factors like map size, movement, abilities, types of weapons, ADS versus zoom, so many options for so many different preferences. The only theory I have on why somebody might still believe this near universally mocked idea is if they're used to siphoning most, if not all, of their gaming experience from one single game.
I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
Having a favorite and sticking to it's fine, but even the guy that only plays Halo or only plays Counter-Strike knows the world isn't going to get delivered to their doorstep. If they want different experiences, they're going to have to expand the catalog. Sure, make a case for user-generated content like how Roblox is considered less of a game now and more of a platform for disrespecting the age of consent. But when a game hones in on its own strengths and differences from other titles, it pushes the series to keep innovating, keep giving us the much-needed variety in today's military FPS space. COD and Delta Force have already gone down the path of selling their franchise's soul to chase mass appeal, and I just don't think a few weeks of praise from COD streamers before they run back to COD is worth losing Battlefield's identity over. But wait till you hear what Swag did like, and it'll help you understand better why I made this video.
Uh-oh.
They did a great job with including, obviously, having really big maps for conquest for a lot of the players.
There was exactly one big map in the beta.
It wasn't a big
Liberation
map.
Peak. I imagine all of them would feel big to a primarily COD player, but truly only Liberation Peak gave us the open areas and full vehicle sandbox we would expect from a Battlefield map.
I'm going to be honest with you. I liked the maps in the beta. I did. I liked the size of them. I liked that they were bigger than Call of Duty's. I liked that they weren't too big, so I felt like I was running a long period of time to get in a gunfight. I also understand if I play enough Battlefield on the big maps, I will learn how to use the spawns and play with the squad in a way where I am getting in lots of gunfights. So I don't want them to have super tiny maps. And what I found is what I expected I expected to play the beta and be like, I want to play the 6v6 mode, or is it a 4v4 mode? The small team mode. And I didn't. I played, I think, 3 games of it, and I'm like, no. I want to play the big game modes. Because I didn't want to play Call of Duty. I played enough Call of Duty.
I have my issues with it, like I think defenders have way too much terrain.
Yeah, also
advantage in a couple of
2042 is another
sectors.
reason
But
why
for
they're
crying out
smaller
loud,
too. That's a
it was
good
the
point as
only one
well.
in the beta that lets you spawn a flying vehicle, and every tank ride wasn't squeezing through narrow alleys where there's openings every 5 feet for a trigger-happy Urukai with some C4 like it's Helm's Deep. Let's hear what Swag has to say about the other maps, which were mostly made up of tight lanes, buildings that don't collapse so you don't dare mess up the flow of tight lanes.
See, that was the one complaint I had, is that I felt like a lot of the buildings on those tight maps should have been able to destroy to make it more wide open. I did say that.
And, oh yeah, tight lanes.
But also making a lot of small maps and a lot of fast-paced gameplay for a lot of the people who are just used to that in general and who like that type of gameplay.
Translation, I liked the maps that reminded me of Call of Duty. Where have we heard that before?
If you're a Call of Duty guy, you're definitely gonna like the fact that like you're all really tight in a little map and you're bobbing and weaving. If you're a Call of Duty guy,
I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
I couldn't agree more, boys. I think the COD players are exactly who are meant to like these maps more. Seriously, if you showed me screenshots of these with a gun to my head and said, correctly guess if these are Battlefield or COD maps or I'll shoot you, I'd be a dead man. I would confidently bet my life these are COD maps and I'd be wrong. Condensed urban
They don't look like COD maps.
areas are fine in moderation, especially around objective points, and we don't want the map to be so open we're stuck in a vehicle fodder respawn loop. But when so much of the map is taken up by places you can't access...
Okay, I think this point I don't agree with them on. As long as there is a good variety at the final launch of the game and not all maps are like this, I think we're good. Like, I think you can have maps like this. I think it's fun to have different styles of maps. Would it have been nicer to have a little bit more variety in the beta? Maybe like one of the Valley map, instead of like one of the small ones, maybe New York.
Buildings you can't destroy, and the rest is hallway Tetris with hardly any room for flanking or reasonable vehicle maneuvering. I mean, no wonder the COD streamers keep complimenting the fast gameplay. These are just COD maps, just like 2 or 3 of them smushed together. It makes me shudder to think that apparently only 3 out of 9 launch maps are going to have open areas for that all-out warfare, vehicle play, squad positioning, and breathing room that Battlefield's supposed to be known for. But it's fine, because learning how to stabilize the chopper so your team can spawn on you and get support kills from the sky.
I can't do it, just to be clear. I mentioned I'm bad at some video games. Flying, 100% one of them.
This doesn't give as exciting of content for clips, does it?
I'm gonna be honest, I just hate tanks. I don't care. I just don't. I'm not a tank guy. I hate tanks, personally.
That's
After
most
all,
COD players.
This is who we want to win over, right?
That is the dumbest idea you've ever had, and you have had some doozies.
In the current era of COD, they love having just shaky guns for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it.
Shaky guns for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Okay, there's a very, okay, what Swagg is actually, I'm going to take Swagg's side on this one. What Swagg's actually talking about is what happened with Modern Warfare 2, where you'd shoot the guns and a ton of gun smoke would come up and the weapon itself would shake like crazy, and it just didn't feel good. Visual recoil that wasn't the actual recoil of the gun. And guess what? They didn't do that with Battlefield 6. So, yeah, you go play Modern Warfare 2. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's horrible.
No shit.
But I genuinely enjoyed how just smooth it was to shoot your gun in Battlefield. That is key. It was very clean. It was very smooth. As an FPS, it should be like that.
Keywords.
As an FPS, it should be like that.
I think he's conflating his FPS experience with his COD experience.
I've never played a Battlefield game before. I've been playing Call of Duty my entire life.
Well, as a Battlefield game, no, it shouldn't be like that. At least not as much as it was in the beta. I see they're nerfing the recoil on automatic fire before.
I do think the recoil was too little, and I said that there should be more of that, but it's a different thing. Like, I don't even fully know how to explain it. Go play Modern Warfare 2. If you played Modern Warfare 2, you know what I'm talking about. No one wants that in any game.
Release, nerfing the shotgun, and working to make the weapons actually feel different, which is good. Different weapon classes should be useful for different contexts and ranges, and in the beta, I just didn't feel like they were.
I agree with that.
I want to see them take weapon strengths and weaknesses a step further, with something I'm certain would make COD bros go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Battlefield Studios. Lock the class weapons. The community has told you that unlocking them removes half the utility of the classes and therefore...
I disagreed with this at first, and after playing the beta, I think it might need it. What's going to end up happening, I will tell you right now, what's going to end up happening if they don't do this is everyone is going to end up playing support and using the paddles over and over and over again because you can use any weapon on it. I saw it close to the end of the beta, and I really do think that's what the game is going to devolve to a month down the road with open loadouts.
Or squad roles, the backbone of Battlefield's teamwork focus. And then you say, why not both? We'll let you use both, don't worry. You then proceeded to hide the one locked playlist behind the custom search on your bargain bin Hulu UI, and you couldn't even select locked weapon playlists in custom search.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
All the other playlists
Great
didn't
use of
specify
memes.
that they were unlocked weapons playlists, so the unassuming player probably wouldn't have even known to look for it. Right, and my dogs eat kibble every day, but since they don't stand up on their hind legs, pull a steak out of the freezer, and slap it on the stove top, that must mean they prefer kibble over a seared medium steak. Look guys, I know you want to be able to sell a $20 AR weapon skin to everyone like Call of Duty does, not just people who main assault, but your casual insistence on unlocking weapons is invoking the Streisand effect, when trying to suppress something just makes people look into it more. Learning the wrong lesson from 2042 and lessening the importance of class selection is...
I also don't think that's why 2042 wasn't successful. Like I don't think Battlefield 6 will be bad if they do open loadouts, put it that way.
It's just removing yet another barrier
But I see the
between
point
making
of it.
Battlefield and COD more alike than they need to be. Speaking of making weapon viability more like COD,
and somehow they say that's ruining Battlefield. Is making a meta loadout class setup on YouTube really gonna ruin Battlefield?
Yes.
meta loadouts shouldn't exist in Battlefield because Battlefield weapons and gadgets should be designed to complement the role of the class that uses them.
I agree with
the
this.
disconnect between role-based objective games and this kill.
Dude, I don't get how people don't get sick of freaking Call of Duty having one weapon that's freaking meta the whole goddamn year. That's like probably my biggest complaint about like Battlefield, or sorry, Call of Duty as a whole, is like, look at the Jackal in Black Ops 6. I could have used that gun the whole year.
Kills for clip streamer runs so deep. If everyone's running around,
that's the one
with
thing that
same
Battlefield does
laser
well.
beam meta they see streamers posting, the weapon sandbox is broken, class roles are half broken, it's an unnecessary self-sabotage to Battlefield's identity. Granted, the streamers aren't the ones who make the OP build, they just showcase it, but this video is about why Battlefield Studios shouldn't be listening to COD streamers. So don't drip feed meta weapons for cheap player retention and YouTuber content. Again, if they do this, I think it's because all that money, the money is the motive. Battle Pass unlocks, weapon skin bundles, that kind of thing. I mean, dog, they sold a $30 pay to progress shortcut bundle in 2042. They would love nothing more than to monetize progression for popular builds. And if not this way...
And this is one question we're all gonna have is, when does the monetization come into Battlefield? It's an EA game. It's coming.
It'll be something else. I'm waiting to see what heinous monetization EA adds to Battlefield 6 at some point.
Yep.
How'd that get in there?
But who cares about game design and series identity as long as it gives you something to upload, right, Swag?
The whole premise around a meta is there's always going to be a top gun in the game in Battlefield, right?
No.
If you're a content creator, you make a video on saying that this is the top gun. It doesn't ruin the game at all. I don't know where
it makes it stale.
Let me tell you something, D.
Yeah, brother?
Why don't you come closer?
We don't care about your content. We care about Battlefield staying Battlefield.
Now, I may be so apathetic about modern COD that I don't even plan on making a video about Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, Arkham Asylum, Advanced Warfare, so call that bias if you want, but tell me what series you think this describes. Maps made up of honeycombs of narrow shooting lanes, majority of the combat is close to medium range infantry encounters, plans...
See, he hasn't played Black Ops 6 because there's no medium range in Black Ops 6.
For annual releases made by 3 teams that rotate every year,
that's
a
COD.
long-running free-to-play battle royale mode, and the start of a platform for the series, not just a game. Where have we smelled this stench before?
Oh, damn. Now I see it. Now I see it.
This big new plan for the series doesn't sound like ambition, it sounds like replication. Battlefield Studios and EA, read the room. One of Call of Duty's biggest criticisms right now is that it lost the series' identity that attracted so many people to it in the first place. People are getting burned out with the annual releases, the over-monetization, the sweaty silliness, the lack of self-
I think Call of Duty has proven it can do annual releases. They need to let the studios cook, and Activation needs to stay out of it.
Self-awareness that gave us this. Yes, this is actually a piece of marketing for Black Ops 7.
Garbage!
You guys accomplished the tremendous feat of turning pessimism into optimism almost overnight just by revealing a new Battlefield game that looked like it was at least attempting to be grounded in reality, and it couldn't have been at a better time as far as Call of Duty's overall sentiment goes.
Yup.
We live in a time when franchises returning to form or going back to its roots gets people excited. They're sick of change for the sake of change. So have enough faith in your own franchise to recognize that when people are arguing over things like movement or map sizes in the beta, rule of thumb says your existing fans are mostly going to be all on the same sides of those debates, the sides that advocate for the least amount of change. That's not to say you can't evolve the franchise to keep up with modern times, but if you stray too far away from what your community wants to try and scoop up the iPad kids like Faze Swagg, or more accurately, the target demographic he seems to want to appeal to, your fans are going to dip first, then all you're going to have left are players that will absolutely jump ship the second Call of Duty course corrects and put out a game that appeals to them.
I also do think it's okay, and I don't think anyone's going to say this, and I might get some flack for saying this. It is okay for Battlefield to want to be a new thing. Like, okay, we're Battlefield, but we're going to go a little bit this direction. We want to try this new thing, was what they did with 2042. It didn't work. Okay, we're going to go back a little bit this way, but try this thing. It's a little bit new. I think that's okay.
Again.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
B, and nobody cares about plan B unless plan A the bed. It'll be so ironic that by trying to replicate COD's success, Battlefield ends up replicating COD's failures too. Because then you're not retaining anyone from either community. If I summarize this video in a sentence, it'd be this. Battlefield should not listen to COD streamers like Swagg, but I'm worried they're going to anyway. This will they, won't they makes me have no idea what this series will look like over the next couple of years. But I've hardly even mentioned one of the hottest topics of controversy surrounding this game. If you want to see me argue with big streamers over why Battlefield 6 doesn't need a battle royale, among other things, click this video right here. Seriously, thank you so much for letting that video do so well.
We did watch this video, and it was a good video. He does a great job with his memes and everything. I don't agree with everything that he said, but I do agree with it. You gotta let Battlefield be Battlefield. And if they want to make certain changes, let them try it. And if it works, if it's good, good. And if it doesn't, well, then that sucks. But, oh, Swagg.